Good evening. Thousands of Queenslanders have marked Australia Day with events as unique and varied as our country itself. Wanting their voices heard, thousands have marched in Invasion Day and Survival Day rallies across Queensland.
Walking along Townsville's Strand, a community united to share and understand history.
Who wants to celebrate the 26th of January 1788 when there were all these massacres and trauma and land stolen?
Celebrating culture that survived 65,000 years through dance and storytelling. Thousands across Queensland coming together, hoping the date of Australia Day will change.
Should be on the table, should be considered, and let's grow together and make that change.
I feel like the conversation around it is really hard for and really difficult for a number of people who are tired of talking about something that seems so simple to change.
The 26th of January, a painful reminder of the past for some. Locals protesting in the streets of Rockhampton to make their voices heard.
What do we want? Justice! And what do we want? Now!
We've still got a long way to go, but it is a step in the right direction.
You have to take responsibility to tell the world this did happen, and now how can we heal the unresolved grief, loss and trauma?
A lot of our stories are supported by what our old people have told us, and that's coming from people who witnessed all that stuff that happened back then.
Amidst it all, calls for our country to be united.
Everyone will have different opinions around Australia Day. What we're trying to do, though, is include everyone in the narrative about what Australia Day means.
Lucy Slade, 9 News.
From a traditional flag-raising ceremony to beachside barbecues and hair-raising crab races, Queenslanders have celebrated Australia Day in many different ways. As revellers let loose, authorities kept a close watch to ensure the fun didn't take an ugly turn.
Bright blue skies, snags sizzling on the barbie and plates full of lamingtons. You couldn't get much more fair dinkum for Australia Day 2021.
Getting around it for Australia Day.
Right along the coast, the beach was ground zero for good times. A seaside spectacular at Yeppoon's main beach. Sandcastles and amusement rides, all part of the Great Australia Day beach party. While in Hervey Bay, the humble picnic proved popular.
We're Australians, we're proud of it, Hey. So it's good, we're thoroughly enjoying it. We're going to have a really good day here, and I think everybody around us is doing the same.
Down in Noosa, visitors from Victoria took some time to reflect.
I reckon it's a time where you can come together as family and friends. That's exactly what we've done, and just celebrate what it means to be Australian.
I think it's great to sort of appreciate the country we have. It's one of the best countries in the world, if not the best, and I think it's awesome to respect the sort of landowners that were originally here though.
As Cairns kids embraced a daring adventure course by the pool, the sea literally crawled to the pub in Rockhampton. Mud crab races raising eyebrows and funds for a local primary school.
It was so fun. Next race I'm going to bid, I'm going to get a crab and I want to win.
In Townsville, a much more traditional nod to our heritage, with the Australian Defence Force holding its annual flag raising ceremony.
With courage let us all combine to advance Australia.
A 21-gun salute rounding out the event at the Jazeen Barracks. A national treasure of a different kind, the focus of fierce competition at Kiwana Surf Lifesaving Club. Extra police officers have been deployed to keep a closer eye on Sunshine Coast celebrations, patrolling busy locations, including here at Moffat Beach, to stamp out any bad behaviour. Authorities warning they'll be saturating the roads tonight as drivers begin the long journey back to the working week and youngsters prepare for the return of school tomorrow. Lexi Junowick, 9 News.
Hundreds of people are officially calling Australia home tonight after pledging oaths at citizenship ceremonies across Queensland. In the state's far north, it was a day to remember, with Cairns hosting its largest event yet.
200 people from all walks of life, now united in a land down under.
You are now Australian citizens.
For South African-born Angelo Lundell, the journey to becoming an Australian citizen has been 12 years in the making.
It means everything if we left our family on the other side of the world. It just opens up so many opportunities for us.
Yana Solomaaha arrived in Oz from the Ukraine 4 years ago and couldn't be prouder to call it home.
I'm so happy to be one. When I moved here, I loved all the people.
This citizenship ceremony, the largest yet in Cairns, 47 countries of origin represented.
Every one of these people want to do this. They want to be an Australian citizen.
On the Sunshine Coast, Moacir Zeleron pledged his loyalty to Australia alongside 44 others.
I lived in Mexico about 9 years in Chilcote. It was a very special day for me because it was like the completion of that transition.
In Townsville, new citizens received a warm welcome from Queensland's Premier.
They are so happy and so proud to be Australian.
A momentous occasion for many, opening up a lifetime of opportunities. Dana Sherwood,
Aussie.
9 News.
The state's far north is on cyclone watch again. Authorities are monitoring a tropical low deepening in the Gulf of Carpentaria, which is forecast to develop into a cyclone as early as tomorrow night. An area stretching more than 800 kilometres from Aurukun to Kurumba is on alert. The system is expected to bring heavy rain, damaging winds and abnormally high tides.
Although the system is currently over the water, it is having an impact on adjacent strips of land, particularly the Western Cape York Peninsula. Some places could receive between 150 and 200 millimetres of rainfall within a day on multiple days.
Rain's expected to increase in Cairns on Thursday. Traces of COVID-19 have been detected in 7 more locations across Queensland. Fragments of the virus were found in wastewater treatment plants in Townsville, Cairns South, Nambour, Maroochydore, Harvey Bay and Yeppoon. While it doesn't mean there are new cases in those areas, anyone with symptoms is urged to get tested. Locked in a battle between fossil fuels and renewable energy, the Nationals are reigniting a climate row with the Coalition. The party calling for more coal-fired power stations, to be built in regional Queensland, part of a manufacturing plan the state government is labelling divisive.
Fired up about coal-fired power stations.
1 or 2 coal-fired power stations, this country is not going to blow the planet up, especially when other countries are building hundreds of power stations overseas.
Matt Canavan in Rockhampton unveiling the Nationals' manufacturing plan, calling for more coal-fired power stations, hoping to double manufacturing jobs by 2035.
We need to reduce energy prices, and that's why the Nats are unashamedly behind building coal-fired power stations, because that produces the most reliable and cheapest power to support manufacturing jobs.
Promising to prop up regional areas, the plan earmarks Gladstone as a manufacturing hub. And with a port for coal exports and imports, the Nats say it's the ideal spot for manufacturing growth.
We believe we should set up an office of regional manufacturing here in central Queensland in Gladstone.
But the plan has reignited climate concerns, contradicting the Morrison government's pledge to work towards a net zero emissions future. Labelling the plan as divisive, Queensland's Energy Minister has slammed the Nationals' plan.
And we're just not going to go backwards by engaging with minority politicians like Senator Canavan, who simply want to divide our nation and cruel those job opportunities.
Labor says some of Australia's biggest manufacturing companies like Townsville Sunmetal are already choosing to use renewable energy.
We're focused on a future of collaboration with the Commonwealth that will deliver more jobs and cheaper electricity through a more diversified electricity generation mix.
Chloe Robinson, 9 News.
The spotlight will be on Townsville tomorrow when the first state government cabinet meeting of the year is hosted in the regional city. The Premier and her ministers will be discussing policy issues and meeting with the community. They'll also be briefed by Queensland's Chief Health Officer about the state's vaccine rollout. The Pioneer Cane Growers Association is supporting Hinchinbrook MP Nick Demeto's draft bill to repeal Labor's reef regulations. The bill aims to reduce the government's ability to control farmers' environmental impacts, which he says is hurting producers. The Environment Department says the regulations are critical for the reef's health. Regional Queensland towns are playing a huge part in the state's plan to become the electric car capital of Australia. There are now over 25 fast charging sites up and running, and it's not just paying off for Queenslanders, but tourism as well.
The electric car revolution is here, or at least that's what the Queensland government is working towards. The first step, installing these electric car charging stations, which have been popping up across regional Queensland, located from as far north as Cairns and all the way down to the Sunshine Coast, forming part of the world's longest electric superhighway in a single state.
We want to see the expansion of electric vehicle sales in Queensland and Australia, and that means
means providing the infrastructure needed.
Queensland now leading the way, cracking into a relatively new market with an added benefit of attracting new tourists to our regions as well.
We want them to come and travel around regional Queensland, and having an electric vehicle superhighway to facilitate that is a really important part of our tourist network and maximising the number of tourists.
Anything that is going to contribute to getting more people out and about on the roads and injecting money into regional communities has got to be a good thing.
The state government is right now installing its final 4 charging stations like this one here in the Wide Bay as part of phase 2. Once those are complete, it will assess just how many people are using them before installing any more. They're already taking off though, with more private charging stations being set up within regional towns. The Sunshine State one step closer to being the electric car capital. Jennifer Martinez, 9 News.
A wildlife rescue group is calling on Cairns Regional Council to donate up to $5,000 so it can safely relocate a mob of wallabies north of Cairns. It says 560 of the native animals were killed last year.
It's predicted to be one of the worst places in Australia for macrobot deaths, and obviously we don't want Cairns being seen like that.
Council says it's looking at ways to assist the group, and it's already put $122,000 towards fencing. And we're being reminded summer's wildlife trauma season, with animals at higher risk of injury from cars and household pets from now through to March. Wildlife SEQ is calling for volunteers to help care for animals in need. The Sunshine Coast charity is currently looking after 75 animals, with demand for its services not expected to ease for months. Legally blind athlete Lauren Nicholson is no stranger to pushing himself to the limit. And today the Queenslander conquered the skies of the Sunshine Coast in a seaplane. The adventurer is hoping to inspire others with his fearless outlook on life.
Feeling his way to the front seat of a thrilling adventure, Lauren Nicholson takes off from Maroochydore for a scenic flight with a difference. With about 95% of his vision lost to retinitis pigmentosa, Lauren relies on his senses to immerse himself in the experience.
Even though I'm not seeing what's going on, I still put together this picture in my mind's eye of what's going on around me.
Pilot Sean Kelly helping paint that picture.
I let him put a couple fingers on the controls so he could feel what we were doing.
He's no stranger to breaking boundaries. In 2010, Lauren became the first legally blind Australian to cycle more than 4,000 kilometres across the country. He's since carved out a successful career in country music, earning a Golden Guitar nomination for his smooth sounds. The father of 4 is now hoping to inspire people of all abilities to reach for the skies.
Don't let that disability or that challenge get in the way of you living a fulfilling life. You know, get out there and enjoy it.
Lexi Junowick, 9 News.
Still ahead in 9 News Local. A warning to those planning a summer barbecue with call-outs for burns on the rise. A mighty mess. What left this Rockhampton home in tatters? And how Australia's iconic animals are celebrating our National Day.
Setting the travel guides loose.
It's okay to fart and relax your anus.
Across Australia. Starts tonight on 9.
The new Aussie Angus Burger has arrived at Macca's. Made with delicious onion rings and bacon. Or grab a side of the new golden onion rings. Wherever summer takes you, we'll be here.
Your local Stihl dealer is here to help charge up your summer with state-of-the-art battery mowers from only $3.99. Stihl tools only from Stihl dealers. There's 600 nationally. Find yours at stihldealers.com.au.
Oh. What's your secret?
Honestly?
It took me all day. Getting the timing right is the real trick.
To keep it nice and tender.
You don't want to leave it in the oven too long, but not long enough and you won't get that
super crispy, bubbly pork crackle.
It's a real juggle. I just thought, wouldn't it be nice to do something special?
Riverview Farms Australian hot roast pork comes cooked, ready to enjoy. Farming is our business. Whatever porky you tell about how you prepared it, well, that's your business.
Be safe these holidays. Buy 3, get 1 free.
Goodyear Passenger and Dunlop Performance tyres. Up to $100 instant cashback on a huge range of great brand tyres.
What's a U-Butte commute, you ask?
G'day.
Well, you've got your GenWag charger, your Dinky Di Wi-Fi, your Keno Cleano, and a throne of your own. And the fare? Well, that's just fair dinkum.
Take me away.
Can I have a word? If this is about the promotion, I have every expectation you'll get it. But there is a problem. You do not go after Dominic Morgan with a knife or a gun. You go with an army. I'm not the enemy.
If you've been thinking about university, now's the time to get started. But enrolments close on the 21st of February. Find the right study choice for you, all in one place, with Open Universities Australia. Explore online courses today.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
A Rockhampton resident has woken up to a terrible mess outside her apartment. She believes a bad driver went off-road, smashing into her car and fence, even taking out a brick wall. Neighbours say they heard a loud bang earlier this morning but thought it was lightning. Police are asking for any witnesses to contact them. It is one of our most popular summer pastimes. Barbecues are a family favourite, especially on a day like today. But authorities are warning barbecues can lead to serious injuries if cooks aren't careful.
We're well known for our barbecue prowess. Cooking up the perfect feast is an art form, this lamb on the spit taking hours to perfect.
We marinate the lamb in a bit of garlic and rosemary. It's Australia Day, you've got to have lamb on the spit.
But sometimes things don't always go to plan, so this summer we're being warned.
So a lot of people are having barbecues and getting out with their families, so we can get a lot of those accidental fires as well.
Firefighters say most barbecue blazes are preventable.
People have lost their eyebrows, but unfortunately it can also be a lot more dangerous in that we've been to a lot of incidents where there's been some bad, significant facial burns.
Last night, one man suffered burns after his barbecue burst into flames west of Bundaberg. Authorities say safety is key. These firefighters doing their very own checks before their own cook-up.
Accidents around the barbecue can most certainly be prevented just by making sure the equipment is clean and making sure everything is still in a usable condition.
Yeah, we just keep it away from everything and make sure it doesn't flame too high. Don't put too much oil on it, you know, so you get flames everywhere.
And we're being reminded to keep a close watch.
You're better off staying when there's a big crowd around like today. We spend more time watching it and making sure everything's right.
Just don't be a silly sausage. Laura Sinclair, 9 News.
An afternoon walk for a Bundaberg family turned into quite the spectacle after they spotted a turtle slowly making its way from the sand to the surf at Burnett Heads. Onlookers marvelled at the sea creature before guiding it back into the ocean. There's nothing more Aussie than our animals themselves, and some very cute mascots have been snapped on our National Day. They're all too used to the sizzling sun down under, but they're doing their best to keep cool.
Happy Australia Day from our patriotic mascots, waving the flag on behalf of all his feathery friends, visitors flocking to the Funny Farm in Cairns.
Well, it's Australia Day, so it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're an animal or a human, you got to celebrate somehow, right?
And that they did, spoiled by extra snacks and lots of pats.
They're just like enjoying a good day, I guess.
Doing their best to keep cool in the Sunshine State summer. Roos hopping into a spot of shade wherever they could. A refreshing cool-off for this cassowary in Cape Tribulation, and a dingo
Did you get it?
taking a delightful dip in Fraser Island's cool waters. Koalas staying hydrated with some tasty electrolytes at Rockhampton Zoo. Then a morning nap after a few too many gum leaves.
The koalas are good, the dingoes, and we saw the crocs, didn't we?
The first time for Australia Day, but might just become a tradition, I think, after today.
And the importance of our nation's furry friends isn't lost on the little ones.
They were the first animals to walk Australia.
And kangaroos are just really cute when they hop around, and because I'm Aboriginal, they're a part of my culture.
A day spent celebrating our country and all its creatures. Sasha Harnapol, 9 News.
We do have some weird Australian animals, don't we? Wonderful, but weird. Coming up in sport, another loss for the Taipans, but what gave their opponents a mighty scare? The Black Hawk star, eager to show he has something to offer. And later, He's no scaredy cat, so why is this serval pouncing on a shoe?
The superstars of tennis face off for a special one-day tennis event. The Adelaide Super Slam, Friday on 9.
Kev! Oh. Gross.
Hey Siri, can you get us to the dog wash?
I hope that's mud. Come on. Good boy.
Why are you so clean?
Yeah, they're running a 2-for-1.
At the dog grooming place.
Yep.
The all-new Yaris Cross. Small now has it all. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
For years, people have tried everything to work out which is the best tasting cola. Turns out, all it takes is a sip.
Take the Pepsi Max Taste Challenge.
Imagine if you had room to grow into a brighter future. Now, it's possible. Queensland Country Bank. Imagine more.
I'm home.
What'll it be tonight?
I just want a relaxing night on the couch. Perhaps something a little bit more irresistible. Not bad, but...
Rich cream, crunchy biscuit and luscious Tim Tam chocolate. Come home to the magic of a Tim Tam. What more could you wish for?
Unleash your NBN wireless internet at mates rates. Introducing Fixed Wireless Plus from Activate Me. Only $69.95 per month with unlimited data. No setup fees or lock-in contracts. The connection you've been waiting for. Call 13 22 88.
What's a U-Butte commute, you ask?
G'day.
Well, you've got your Chinwag charger, your dinky die Wi-Fi, your Keno Cleano, and a throne of your own. And the fare? Well, that's just fair dinkum.
Take me away.
Prepare this storm season for your chance to win a $2,500 Queensland holiday voucher. Hold, purchase or renew an eligible CGU insurance policy with Queensland Country Bank to be in the draw. Rain, hail or shine, let Queensland Country and CGU help protect your home.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
OK, despite an incredible fight back, the Cairns Taipans are licking their wounds after suffering their third straight loss at home overnight. A fourth-term revival led by Scott Machado almost saw the side snatch victory from Melbourne United, but it was not enough.
Determined to restore their home court honour, the Taipans revealed a new look starting five.
Gives this one up.
The Snakes struggling to find their feet in the first quarter, missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
I was disappointed with how we communicated out there, and we need to be better as a group doing that.
But just before the second half came the bite back.
Machado and Oliver, the two-man show.
Machado snaking his way through, scoring 11 points in just 4 minutes.
The way we played the second half, that's winning basketball.
Despite an impressive fight back,
Machado has been amazing in this quarter. Gives it up. Mirko. Oh, my goodness.
It was too little, too late. Melbourne winning by 2 points.
No! It was nearly the big steal.
Melbourne United deserved it because they played 4 quarters and had a great first half.
Their next challenge taking on the high-flying Hawks on Thursday night.
We've been playing kind of with 1 day's rest, so I think having the 2 days to prepare and get ready is a bonus.
Katerina Stefanovic, 9 News.
Only 20 minutes of playing time wasn't the Intrust Super Cup season Josh Hoffman envisaged when signing with the Blackhawks last year. The former NRL veteran and New Zealand international is eager to get back on the field and to find a starting spot on the team.
Just one game and last year's ISC season was cancelled, meaning minimal field time for all players who'll be fighting it out in 2021.
Last game I played was only 20 minutes off the bench, so I'm hoping to get a bit more game time.
Josh Hoffman had just signed with the Townsville Blackhawks. His expectations shattered, but the utility is taking it in his stride.
I guess the season's still a while away. That's for Paney to decide who he wants on the team moving forward, but I think from now on during this pre-season, everyone's just going to get stuck into the training.
5'8" Sean Nona is locked in for the season, his experience lifting the squad.
I know that he was here at the Blackhawks a while ago, and he's a really good talent. He's been around a few clubs, and it's really good to have a bit of experience in the team.
Hailing from a soccer background, the Blackhawks' new strength and conditioning coach Matt Hem is putting players through their paces.
He slotted in really well, and he's sort of been putting them through the running and the weights lifting.
He'll bring a bit of his style into pre-season, and hopefully he doesn't go too hard on the older fellas.
The Blackhawks face the Jets in Ipswich on March 20. Maya Fellows, 9 News.
Bundaberg's reigning state triathlon champions have proved they're in great form ahead of next month's state titles. Benjamin Rudd and Joey Vella placing first and second in the open men's event at the Australia Day Aquathon.
So in a few weeks' time there's state championships, triathlon. Yeah, so that's sort of what we're working up to.
Competitors came from as far as central Queensland, but the locals were too good. Bundaberg's Alison Vella took out the women's open race. When 9 News Local returns, Gavin has your full weather details.
Our biggest music stars come together to bring Aussie music back to life. Sounds better together. Saturday 7:30 on 9.
The new Crispy Barbecue McGoz has arrived at Macca's. Made with juicy beetroot, 100% Aussie beef and crispy onions. Wherever summer takes you, we'll be here.
In 2011, Queensland felt the impact of the most devastating floods in recent history. Fortunately, Suncorp Insurance was one of the first to include flood cover automatically with our home policies. So we were able to help over 12,000 Queensland families recover. And it's included on all our home insurance today. Knowing you have cover through every storm, that's the Suncorp spirit.
Has your life been turned upside down by a road accident? Talk to Australia's #1 law firm. Morris Blackburn Lawyers will maximise your claim so you can get on with your life again. Call us now. It costs nothing to know where you stand.
Be safe these holidays. Buy 3, get 1 free. Goodyear Passenger and Dunlop Performance tyres. Up to $100 instant cashback on a huge range of great brand tyres.
We've had this house for about 15 years now.
Since Cyclone Yasi, premiums went through the roof.
We got referred to Shore.
I nearly fell off my chair.
It was over $2,000 cheaper.
We got a fair deal from Shore.
What's a U-Butte commute, you ask?
Did I?
Well, you've got a throne of your own, parking for the planks, your Kosciuszko kiss, and your dinky-die Wi-Fi. And the fare? Well, that's just fair dinkum.
Take me away.
An important message from the Australian government. Exposing crimes should never be a crime. It's un-Australian. If you take up citizenship, commit to making Australia better. Don't just sign the paperwork. Actively support Bernard Collaery, Witness K, David McBride, Richard Boyle and Julian Assange, who all exposed crimes and now face criminal charges and jail. Actively criticise our Scott Morrison, Frydenberg, Porter Liberal government. It's the Australian thing to do. An important message from the Australian government. Authorised by Ian Melrose, Melbourne.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
Good evening, happy Australia Day. Wow, what a gift that was. It was pretty much close to perfect for the majority of the broadcast region tonight. Beautiful conditions, lovely right along the coast. It was an absolute stunner. Busy across our coastline, the beaches and the islands right throughout the Whitsunday. It's just an absolute stunner as all of the wet weather is focused right throughout the far tropical north, and that front moving in across New South Wales, so predominantly fine throughout the populated areas of Queensland. A few isolated showers potentially throughout tomorrow across parts of the coast, but generally, it's another good-looking day, partly cloudy. We may see just a little brief shower or two, but generally fine around Townsville. Cairns shaping up nicely. The storms in the wet weather north up around Port Douglas. Cooktown will see some activity. Maybe a shower around Hamilton Island. To the south, also fine. Capricornia Coast, Wide Bay area, Sunshine Coast and inland areas shaping up nicely.
Gavin, thank you for that update. Now, showing off his fierce hunting skills, Mowgli, the serval, has targeted prey of a different kind at Wildlife HQ. Watch him as he stalks, then pounces on his keeper's running shoe, seemingly mistaking the rubbery item for a rodent. That's 9 News Local for Tuesday. I'm Paul Taylor.